with us here on 13 Sunrise. I'm Jalea along with Matthew and Chuck. Chuck, I know you said Pacers in 6, but I know you wouldn't be complaining about Pacers in 5.
Oh, no, I would be very happy to be absolutely wrong. And, you know, it is such a foggy morning out there. I know Julia. I've known her for almost 30 years, and that woman does not like fog. I'm sure this is one of those mornings. Some of you look out this,
Pull the
you
blanket
see
back up over
this.
your head.
I'm going back to bed. Don't now. But I know it's tempting because, my goodness, we do have a lot of dense fog out there. We go from that shot here in the immediate metro to Lebanon, where, boy, the fog is really getting thick. And it's like this over much of the area. Now, this will slow you down. And we're going to hear more from Matt Standridge in traffic in a moment. In Carmel, about an hour ago, there was no fog. There is now obviously a lot of fog with visibility less than 2 miles. Now, temperature-wise, much of the country is in a more mild flow of air. So we're at 55 here. It's 57 in Kansas City where it's raining. As we get closer here, you'll notice that our temperature is not that much different than Milwaukee or Louisville. But if you drill in the northwest part of our viewing area, it's really pretty cold this morning. It's only 49 in Monticello, only 46 in Rensselaer, and just 50 at the home of the Tigers in Peru. We're at 55 here in Indianapolis. Fog is going to be an issue. As I mentioned, dense fog advisory, Indianapolis north and west. And we'll have that around till the middle of the morning. By lunchtime, 67. We could see a few sprinkles or a couple of splash and dashers this afternoon at 73. But most of the rain tonight, we could get significant rain tonight. We'll break that down in minutes. But speaking of brakes, you're going to have to use those brakes a bit today. As you're driving, Matt.
Yeah, and maybe give yourself a little extra following distance as well, just because it is foggy. I do want to get to a couple different construction alerts, and then I'll show you some of the fog. No active accidents right now, but we do have some closures. The Cambridge City exit there for Cambridge City and Lincoln, farther to the south on State Road 1 or north to Hagerstown. We've got some closures at the ramps there on I-70, and then I-65 in the northbound lanes at Keystone. You can hop there towards the University of Indianapolis, but the exit ramp in the northbound direction remains closed. There's a lot of cones on 65, kind of all up and down the interstate, so watch out for those. Then it's the story about the fog this morning for the Tigers in Lebanon. It is thick, and then it is very thick out there for Martinsville. Good morning for the Artesians. It's hard to see up and down I-69. Give yourself a little extra time.
All right, thanks, Matt. Well, this morning we're reaching out to state police to learn more about a deadly crash along I-65.
NDOT confirms that emergency responders were at the scene on the northwest side of Indianapolis. And this was the scene around 11:30 last night on 465 southbound. You can see some hazard lights there from this video. We do know from that NDOT notification that one person died in this crash. So we're checking back in this morning to learn what may have led up to it and who was involved. So we'll keep you updated here on 13 Sunrise. Happening today, a former Avon chiropractor accused of sexual battery will be sentenced either to home detention or community service. Rock Bird is pleading guilty to 4 counts of sexual battery after multiple women accused him of touching them inappropriately during appointments. He was supposed to be sentenced earlier this year, but his lawyers had arguments over a part of that plea agreement. So prosecutors argued that meant home detention or community service would still be on the table. Bird's lawyers appeared to disagree. He will also be required to register as a sex offender for 10 years, according to that agreement. We will be there at today's sentencing. It's at 1 o'clock this afternoon.
Also happening today, we could find out if a driver is being waived to adult court for charges in a deadly crash. That's the crash that killed recent Hamilton Southeastern graduate and football player Mason Alexander. Now, we're not naming the driver in the case because he hasn't been charged as an adult yet. He's formally accused of reckless homicide and false identification. Police say Alexander was riding in the passenger seat when the driver tried to pass a car on Florida Road near East 104th Street. Police say the car swerved to avoid an oncoming car but hit a tree. 13 News will be in court later today for that hearing.
This morning, IMPD is asking for your feedback on how they could better the department.
It did this by hosting a series, or the first, I should say, of several listening sessions. Our Anna Chalker joins us in studio this morning with more on this. And Anna, we know that IMPD was actually not in this session.
They were not, and that was all by design. The department says they did not want to be at this session so community members would be more willing to share their honest opinions. So the session was held at the Brightwood Community Center. That was hosted by representatives from Taylor Advising. The firm was hired earlier this year to help the department with their 5-year strategic plan. That is meant to help guide the future of the department and give them goals to meet. So some of the prompts they brought to the community last night were what would make you feel more connected or informed when it comes to safety in your neighborhood, and what does genuine trust look like between police and your neighborhood. Residents we spoke with say they appreciate that the department wanted to hear their honest thoughts.
I just think that this is a brave step on the behalf of Chief Bailey to do this, and I hope that the community is grateful to have this input, and because we also watch, right? And we want to correct when things go wrong. So let's participate and make things go right too.
Yeah.
There are many more planned for June, and you could also fill out an anonymous survey. We have that linked on our website right now. So at 6:30, you'll hear from Taylor Advising on what they observed during this session, but also what they're hoping to bring forward for the next ones.
Yeah, and I like that they have a survey too for folks that can't make it out.
For sure.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Or we now know the name of a man that was killed in a shooting on the east side.
The Marion County coroner says that Larice Pat was killed. Witnesses tell us that the 19-year-old died in a fight for control over a gun. Now take a look at your screen. This was the scene yesterday on the east side's early yesterday morning.
Police said that they found that suspect shot in critical condition, or that victim rather, on South Gladstone near Washington and Sherman, and he died at the hospital. Witnesses say the suspect drove off.
This morning, a woman is cooperating with police after she says she shot a man trying to sexually assault her 12-year-old daughter. So court documents reveal police responded to a shooting at the Baymont Inn on Eagle View Drive. When officers got there, the grandmother told police that the girl and her sister had met up with their mom and a man named Bruce Pierce in the hotel lobby.
Then after going back to a hotel room, she says the mom was carrying bags to the car when the girl stayed behind in the room with Pierce. And that's when she says he tried to assault her while holding a gun and even ripping her clothing.
And according to those same court documents, her mom came back into the room, saw what was happening, and fired at Pierce using her own gun. Now, he was taken to the hospital and the girl was checked out at Riley Hospital.
Pierce has multiple previous child molestation convictions and now has a warrant out for his arrest on new charges, including child molestation, rape, and unlawfully owning a firearm. It is 6:08. Police in Bloomington arrested a man that they say tried to kidnap a child at a movie theater, and he is due in court tomorrow. A 7-year-old girl told police that she was leaving the bathroom last Friday with her sister when a man grabbed her and tried to force her into the men's restroom. The girl says that he left red marks and a scratch on her arm. Thomas Stinson is now charged with kidnapping and battery in this case. The Pacers are back in New York City ahead of Game 5 with the Knicks tonight.
Yeah, the team posting pictures and videos of the guys heading out. The team leads the Eastern Conference Finals right now 3-1 after that big win the other night over at Gainbridge Fieldhouse.
They could close things down tonight, one more win, and they move on to the NBA Finals.
That's it. The Indiana Pacers are 1 win away from the NBA Finals.
One win away from their first NBA Finals appearance in 25 years. Tip-off is tonight at 8 inside of Madison Square Garden.
And we will have team coverage for you. Our Dominic Miranda, he will be with the Pacers in New York tonight. And our Eli Gain, he'll be back here in the studio. We'll also have crews with fans inside of Gainbridge Fieldhouse for that sold-out watch party tonight. And by the way, we do already know who will be coming out of the Western Conference to go to the NBA Finals. It's the Oklahoma City Thunder.
Yeah, they beat the Minnesota Timberwolves last night, 124-94. To win that series 4-1. So Alexander, how do I say this name, Matthew? No, the second part.
Shai Gilgeous.
Shai Gilgeous-Alexander scored 34 points in the victory. I'm sorry to put you on the spot.
No, you're good.
OKC moves on to the NBA Finals for the first time since 2012.
Meanwhile, the Indiana Fever, they played their first regular season game last night without Caitlin Clark, and the outcome just wasn't in our favor.
Yeah, the Fever fell to the Washington Mystics 83-77 on the road. DeWanna Bonner led the Fever with 21 points off the bench, but the Mystics just outplayed them last night as they led by as many as 12 points. Fever head coach Stephanie White had a lot of respect for the Mystics and knew this game would be a challenge.
Washington's a good team, and they've had the lead in the fourth quarter in almost every game that they've played. They play hard. They're selfless. They move the ball. They cut hard. They play well together, and they kept coming at us.
So yeah, the Fever, they got to get used to this lineup without Clark, as she's expected to now miss at least 2 weeks with that left quad strain. The Fever, however, they can redeem themselves tomorrow night here at home against the Connecticut Sun.
It's a 7:30 tip-off for that game. We'll have live post-game coverage on 13 News at 11. Good morning, Chuck.
Good morning. We have fog, and now we have school delays. Daleville, Delaware Community, Mount Vernon, all with delays. And how about this fog near Noblesville this morning? A dense fog advisory. And by the way, I'll be in Noblesville tomorrow morning at Noble Coffee and Tea. Hope to see you there from 5 to 7. I also hope you stay tuned, because I'm going to have the timeline for rain when we come back.